The night is your training ground. When the world sleeps, your mind keeps working. Most people believe rest means shutting down, escaping, or forgetting the day. But the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they understood something deeper. Your mind never truly sleeps. It replays your thoughts, your habits, your emotions. It becomes the sum of what you feed it before the night begins. So here's the truth: you are training your brain every night, whether you know it or not. The question is, are you training it to serve you or to destroy you? When you fall asleep angry, resentful, and lost in self-doubt, your subconscious records that emotion like a soldier taking orders. And while you rest, it repeats those same commands over and over again until they become your reality. That's why some people wake up tired, defeated, and empty even after 8 hours of sleep. They didn't rest. They rehearsed their misery. But the great ones, the disciplined, the focused, the unshakable, they use the night as a battlefield of transformation. They understand that sleep is not the absence of effort, it's the continuation of it. It's where you engrave new beliefs, new strength, new peace into the deepest layers of your mind. Before you close your eyes tonight, remember this: the last thought you have before sleep becomes the first command your subconscious follows. If that thought is filled with power, gratitude, and vision, you're not just sleeping, you're programming yourself to rise stronger. Think about Marcus Aurelius sitting under dim light, writing his meditations before rest. He didn't write for the world. He wrote to command his own mind. He understood that if you do not control your thoughts before sleep, your thoughts will control you when you wake. You are doing the same every night, whether consciously or not. So let's make it conscious. Let's turn your nights into your most powerful hours of growth. Every time you lay your head on the pillow, ask yourself, what kind of soldier am I sending into my dreams tonight? Because that soldier, your last thought, will march into your subconscious, fighting battles while you rest. Feed it strength and it will return victorious. Feed it weakness and it will come back with scars. The Stoics trained their minds through awareness, repetition, and reason. You must do the same, but on a deeper level. As you close your eyes, repeat your philosophy, your values, your purpose. Say to yourself, I am in control of my mind. My mind will serve me. My thoughts will shape my strength. It might feel strange at first, but remember, your brain learns through repetition. The words you whisper at night echo through your nervous system. They create new patterns. They erase old limitations. This is not some mystical theory. It's neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on what you repeatedly think and feel. And the most powerful time to rewire it is while you sleep, when your conscious resistance fades and your subconscious becomes open, vulnerable, and ready to receive new commands. So tonight, when the lights go off and the noise of the world fades, don't let your mind wander into chaos. Guide it, train it, tell it what kind of person you want to be tomorrow. Because the person you will become is being built in those silent hours. Here's your night ritual, inspired by Stoic wisdom and sharpened by discipline. Gratitude check. Before closing your eyes, name 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude rewires the brain for strength, not scarcity. Reflection. Review your day without judgment. Ask, where did I lose control? Where did I stay composed? Learn, then let it go. Command. Give your mind a final instruction. Something like, tomorrow I rise with clarity and power. Do this every night and your brain begins to obey. You stop waking up reactive. You start waking up prepared. Most people think the battlefield is out there, in the noise, in the struggle, in the competition. But the Stoic knows the real war happens within, and it begins long before dawn. It begins when the world sleeps and only your thoughts remain awake. You can waste those hours dreaming meaningless dreams, or you can use them to build the foundation of an unshakable mind. Every night, your mind is like wet cement. What you pour into it before it hardens will shape who you become. So pour in courage, pour in focus, pour in belief, pour in discipline. Do not feed it fear. Do not replay your failures. Do not let yesterday's pain become tomorrow's prison. When you learn to train your brain while you sleep, you stop being a victim of your emotions. You become the architect of your destiny. You wake up with purpose. You walk with direction. You live with power. Because greatness isn't built in the sunlight, it's built in the silence of the night. Remember this: sleep is not the end of the day, it's the preparation for the next one. And every night is a chance to reprogram your future. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Even in your sleep, that truth remains unbroken. Train your brain with purpose and your dreams will serve your mission. Ignore it and your mind will drift, controlled by the chaos you failed to master." So tonight, don't just go to bed, enter training. Don't just close your eyes, command your mind. Don't just dream, build. Because when you train your brain while you sleep, you wake up already winning. Reprogramming the subconscious warrior. Most people spend their days trying to control their outer world. They chase money, attention, validation, believing that if they fix the world around them, they'll finally feel peace within. But the Stoics knew the opposite was true. Peace is built from the inside out. And your inside world, your subconscious mind, is where the real battle begins. You may not realize it, but every night when you close your eyes, a silent dialogue begins inside you. It's the conversation between who you are and who you want to be, between your doubts and your destiny, between your weakness and your willpower. That conversation shapes everything you'll do tomorrow. So, if you want to train your brain while you sleep, you must take control of that dialogue. Your subconscious doesn't rest. It listens. It records. It obeys. It doesn't care whether what you say is true or false. It simply accepts your repetition as reality. That's why Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And what better time to choose that color than in the darkness of the night? Imagine this. You're lying in bed, eyes closed, the world silent. Every thought you think is a brushstroke painting tomorrow's emotions. You can paint chaos, or you can paint calm. You can paint fear, or you can paint focus. If you whisper to yourself, "I'm tired of my life, I can't do this," your subconscious begins to arrange your future around that weakness. But if, instead, you declare, "I am unbreakable and I rise stronger with every challenge," your brain accepts that order and begins to design the chemistry, the energy, and the mindset that match it. That's neurotraining, and it happens best while you sleep. Because when you're awake, your conscious mind interferes. It doubts. It questions. It resists. But at night, when the conscious guard falls silent, your subconscious opens its gates wide. That's when you can slip in new commands, new beliefs, new strength. The Stoics didn't call it neuroscience, but they practiced it. Seneca wrote about rehearsing virtue before bed, revisiting his actions and reminding himself of his values. He wasn't doing that to feel moral, he was programming his mind to react like a philosopher the next day. That's what you must do. Before sleep, replay your day, not with guilt but with growth. What did I do today that made me proud? Or did I lose focus? What lesson will I carry into tomorrow? By reflecting without emotion, you strengthen the muscle of discipline. You tell your subconscious, "I learn, I adapt, I evolve." And when that message echoes in your sleep, you wake up mentally sharper, emotionally calmer, spiritually steadier. But understand this, your mind can't hold two masters. If you fill it with anxiety, self-doubt, or envy before bed, you can't expect peace to follow. So before you close your eyes, you must clean your mental room. Let go of everything that doesn't serve your mission. Forgive what you can't control. Detach from what drains you. Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things." So change your judgment before sleep, and the world you wake into will change too. Because your subconscious is a gardener. Whatever seed you plant before bed, it waters through the night. Plant fear, harvest chaos. Plant discipline, harvest freedom. Here's a practical ritual, the Stoic sleep command. Breathe deeply 3 times. Let the day leave your body. State your virtue for tomorrow. Example, tomorrow I will face everything with calm strength. Visualize it. See yourself walking through tomorrow's challenges unbothered, focused, in control. Seal it. Whisper a final affirmation, "My mind serves my purpose even while I sleep." That's it. Simple, but powerful. Because repetition turns intention into identity. The Stoics believed in preparing for hardship even in peace. That's exactly what this ritual does. You're programming resilience before the storm hits. While others drift into unconscious chaos, you're writing new code into your operating system. You're turning your brain into a weapon, calm, sharp, and unstoppable. Now listen carefully. Your body needs rest, but your purpose doesn't. While you sleep, your heart keeps beating, your lungs keep breathing, and your mind keeps building. That's the beauty of human design. Growth doesn't stop when the lights go out. If you learn to direct that silent process, you will change faster than anyone around you. You will wake up each morning already aligned, already motivated, already grounded. You'll no longer waste the first hours of your day fighting your own thoughts, because your brain has been training all night under your command. Let's talk about the science behind it, briefly but clearly. When you drift into deep sleep, your brain enters theta and delta waves, states of high suggestibility. That's when affirmations, visualizations, and emotions are most easily stored in your subconscious. That's why negative self-talk before bed is poison, and why positive, disciplined thought before bed is gold. You can't control how long you sleep, but you can control how powerfully you program your sleep. And when you do, your brain becomes your greatest ally. Tomorrow, when the alarm rings, you won't wake up confused or lazy. You'll wake up with clarity, because your mind has already rehearsed success. You'll feel calm, because your subconscious processed your pain instead of amplifying it. You'll move with purpose, because you told your mind to. This is how legends are made. Not in gyms, not in meetings, not in applause, but in the quiet darkness, where discipline whispers louder than fear. You are not just a dreamer anymore. You are a mental warrior in training. You are shaping your destiny in your sleep. So tonight, before you close your eyes, make a vow. My mind will not wander into weakness. It will march in discipline. It will fight for my purpose. It will rebuild me while I rest. Repeat that like a soldier reciting his code. Let it echo until your breath slows and your body drifts away. Because while you sleep, your subconscious warrior will take those words and forge them into reality. That's how you train your brain while you sleep. Not with dreams, but with direction. Not with fantasy, but with focus. Not with hope, but with command. And when dawn arrives, you won't need motivation, because you'll already be in motion. Your brain will be waiting, alert, ready to execute the orders you gave it in the dark. This is mastery. This is the Stoic way. This is the birth of the unshakable mind. Command the night, own the morning. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary isn't talent. It's the state of mind you wake up with. Some people open their eyes and immediately feel lost, anxious, unfocused, tired of everything. Others wake up with sharpness, purpose, calm. And here's the secret. That difference isn't random. It's built in the night. If you want to own the morning, you must command the night. Your brain doesn't shut off when you fall asleep. It reorganizes. It decides what to keep, what to forget, what to strengthen, and what to discard. Every thought you had during the day is now under review. Every emotion, every doubt, every moment of discipline, your subconscious evaluates them, deciding what defines you. If you end your day lost in fear, you're literally teaching your brain to store fear. If you end your day with focus, you're training your brain to wake with purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." What he didn't add, but lived, was that your thoughts before sleep are the ones that shape your morning. Think about this. When a soldier prepares for war, he doesn't wait until the battle begins. He sharpens his weapon the night before. You must do the same. Your mind is your weapon. Sharpen it before you rest. The Stoics never wasted the night. Seneca used to reflect deeply before bed, asking himself, "What weakness did I overcome today? What temptation did I resist? What lesson did I learn?" That wasn't a ritual of guilt, it was an act of command. He was instructing his subconscious, "This is who I am. This is who I'm becoming." You can do the same, but with fire. Before bed, don't scroll through distractions. Don't drown your brain in chaos. Feed it clarity. Feed it goals. Feed it gratitude. Because your brain doesn't care what you give it, it multiplies whatever you allow in. So why not give it something worth multiplying? Here's how your subconscious works. Every emotion you feel intensely before sleep becomes a memory file. That file gets reviewed and reinforced throughout the night. If it's anger, you wake up wired for confrontation. If it's peace, you wake up grounded. If it's determination, you wake up unstoppable. So imagine if every night you closed your eyes with this single command. Tomorrow I rise focused, disciplined, and unshakable. That sentence alone becomes an instruction manual for your subconscious mind. And the mind obeys repetition like law. It's not magic. It's the science of programming. It's what Stoics call preparation of the soul. Now look around you. The undisciplined world teaches people to treat sleep like an escape. They lie down, exhausted by distractions, and use the night to run away from reality. But the Stoic, the warrior, the builder, he uses the night to rewrite his reality. He knows rest isn't escape, it's construction. Every hour of sleep becomes a brick in the temple of his discipline. The moment your eyes close, your mind begins construction. It rebuilds the architecture of your beliefs. It repairs the emotional damage of the day. It resets your focus, but only if you give it the right blueprint. You can't expect a masterpiece from a messy design. If you go to bed with fear, self-pity, and doubt, your subconscious has no choice but to rebuild weakness. But if you go to bed with strength, gratitude, and vision, your subconscious will carve those values into your identity. Here's your nightly command process. Use it as your Stoic weapon. Reflect, don't regret. The past day is over. Analyze it, learn from it, release it. You are not your mistakes, you are your corrections. Visualize tomorrow's strength. See yourself calm, confident, and sharp in tomorrow's challenges. Don't just imagine outcomes, imagine reactions. Imagine yourself unbothered when chaos hits. Speak to your subconscious like a leader. Whisper your command before sleep. Mind, serve me, strengthen me, protect me. Your subconscious doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to orders. Disconnect from noise. Technology, arguments, guilt, all of it weakens your pre-sleep state. Detach from it. In the last 30 minutes of your day, your environment should feel like a temple. Let's make this clear. Discipline doesn't end when you turn off the lights. The Stoic trains even in the silence of the night. When you go to sleep angry, jealous, or distracted, you are still training, but for the wrong battle. You're rehearsing emotional weakness. You're programming mental chaos. But when you go to sleep intentional, grateful, and focused, you are programming a mind that wakes ready for war. You must realize, greatness doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's not born in applause or spotlight. It's built in private moments of control, when nobody's watching, when you decide to train your brain instead of letting it drift. Epictetus taught that every moment of life is a choice, to surrender or to master. Nighttime is no exception. You can surrender to your tired emotions or you can master them. You can close your eyes as a victim, or you can sleep as a general commanding his army. And when morning comes, your army, your subconscious, will march in the direction you gave it. Your life is the reflection of those invisible commands. You are not what you say in the day, you are what you believe in the dark. So tonight, before sleep, create silence. No phone, no noise, no nonsense. Sit in stillness and ask yourself, what am I training my brain to become tonight? If your answer is weak, change it. Because the mind obeys whoever gives the final order, and that final order is the thought you fall asleep with. Do not fall asleep angry. Do not fall asleep empty. Fall asleep with direction. Fall asleep with purpose. Fall asleep as the commander of your own mind. When dawn breaks, others will need coffee to wake up their drive. You won't. Your drive will already be awake, because you trained it in the night. Your confidence will already be solid, because you built it in your dreams. Your peace will already be rooted, because you planted it before rest. This is how Stoic warriors move through life, calm yet fierce, disciplined yet alive. They don't hope for better mornings, they create them the night before. So tonight, before you sleep, repeat these words slowly. I'm not my past. I'm not my fears. I'm my command. My brain trains for greatness while I rest. And when I rise unshakable. Then close your eyes. Let your mind begin its silent training. Because the night belongs to you, and so does the morning that follows. The silent classroom of the night. There's a hidden classroom that opens only after midnight. No desks, no teachers, no noise. Just silence, darkness, and your mind. That's where real learning begins. That's where transformation happens. That's where you either rebuild yourself or repeat yourself. While most people waste their nights on distractions, scrolling, and overthinking, the Stoic uses that sacred time to train the unseen part of himself. Because the truth is, when you sleep, your mind studies. It studies the thoughts you fed it. It memorizes your emotions. It practices the patterns you repeated all day. So if your days are filled with worry, your nights become a lecture in anxiety. But if your days are filled with purpose and your final thoughts are powerful, your nights become a masterclass in greatness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." At night, that dye soaks deepest. Think about it. Your conscious mind, the one that analyzes, worries, compares, finally goes silent. And beneath it, your subconscious, the real engine of your identity, wakes up and takes control. Whatever instructions you gave it during the day, it now executes without resistance. It rehearses your identity. It reinforces your beliefs. It rebuilds your neural connections. That means one thing, your sleep is your most powerful classroom. And the Stoic warrior knows, you don't walk into a classroom unprepared. You enter with intention. If you spend the last 15 minutes of your day angry, bitter, and lost in your failures, that's what you'll study in your dreams. You'll wake up repeating the same emotional syllabus: frustration, envy, regret. But if you go to bed with purpose, gratitude, and clarity, your subconscious will spend the night mastering discipline, peace, and focus. You don't have to be awake to grow, but you do have to be aware. So every night, before you sleep, set the lesson plan. Ask yourself, what do I want my brain to master while I rest tonight? Maybe it's calmness under stress. Maybe it's focus on your goals. Maybe it's self-control or confidence or patience. Whatever it is, visualize it. Feel it. Then give your mind permission to train it. This is how mental rewiring begins. You're not forcing change, you're creating conditions for it. The Stoics believed in preparing the soul, you are preparing the subconscious. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom isn't about circumstances, it's about self-command. And the greatest self-command happens when you can direct your mind even in sleep. Think about how powerful that is, to know that while the world sleeps, you're becoming stronger without lifting a finger. Your brain is doing the work for you, following your last conscious command. That's not philosophy, that's mastery. But to reach that level, you must understand one brutal truth. You can't train a restless mind. If your mind is filled with noise, your subconscious can't focus on your orders. That's why Stoics practiced evening stillness. They cleared the clutter before rest. They wrote their thoughts, acknowledged their emotions, and released them. You must do the same. Before sleep, silence your world. Dim the lights. Put your phone away. Breathe. Let the tension drop from your body. Create space for your mind to receive direction. Then speak to it, with calm but authority. Tonight you learn strength. You learn calm. You learn control. Say it like a command, not a wish. The subconscious doesn't respond to hesitation. It responds to certainty. Now let's go deeper, scientifically and philosophically. During sleep, your brain cycles through stages. When it enters deep sleep, it repairs the body. But during REM sleep, when you dream, the brain replays experiences and emotions, reinforcing or reshaping them. That's why it's critical to go to bed with emotional clarity. The Stoics didn't use brainwave charts, but they understood this truth intuitively. They believed the final thoughts before sleep should reflect wisdom, not weakness. Marcus Aurelius used his nighttime meditations to remind himself of impermanence, gratitude, and discipline. He would write things like, "Do not let sleep find you holding anger toward anyone, not even yourself." That wasn't just moral, it was neurological. He knew his brain would carry that emotion through the night, either poisoning him or purifying him. So what are you carrying into your sleep, Ollie? Anger? Jealousy? Regret? Or purpose, focus, and peace? Every emotion you sleep with multiplies in your dreams. Every thought becomes a lesson your subconscious studies over and over until it becomes instinct. If you sleep with power, you wake with purpose. If you sleep with weakness, you wake with confusion. You can't fake morning strength. It's built in the silent hours when your conscious mind sleeps and your subconscious trains. Let's build your Stoic night routine, a ritual for mental dominance. Disconnect with intention. 1 hour before bed, step away from chaos. Silence is not emptiness, it's fuel for the mind. Reflect with honesty. Ask, what emotion ruled me today? If it was anger, let it go. If it was fear, face it. End the day lighter than you began. Command with certainty. Speak your next day's virtue. Tomorrow I will rise with calm strength. Nothing external will disturb me. Visualize with power. Don't imagine fantasies, imagine discipline. See yourself facing pressure with composure. See yourself turning chaos into control. Rest with trust. Believe your mind is working for you now. You've given the order. The subconscious will execute. That's the ritual. Repeat it nightly. Turn it into a lifestyle. Remember, the night doesn't belong to the weak, it belongs to the wise. The world sleeps to escape, the Stoic sleeps to evolve. While others waste their dreams chasing illusions, you're training your mind to chase purpose. While others wake up in confusion, you'll wake up in command. Because you're not just sleeping, you're studying. You're not just dreaming, you're directing. You're not escaping, you're expanding. This is what separates the average from the unshakable. When morning comes and your eyes open, something incredible will happen. You won't wake up searching for motivation, it'll already be inside you. You won't wake up needing to remember your goals, they'll already be imprinted in your neural code. You won't wake up tired, you'll wake up trained. You'll feel it in your breath, in your focus, in your stillness. That's your mind reporting for duty, the one you trained in the silence of the night. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations to impress others. He wrote them to prepare his mind to wake with power. You're doing the same thing now, but with modern tools, with science, with Stoic fire. So as the world falls asleep tonight, remind yourself of this. You're not resting, you're reprogramming. You're not escaping, you're elevating. You're not dreaming, you're directing destiny. And when the sun rises, you won't just wake up. You'll rise unshakable. The battle between rest and regression. There's a war happening inside you every night. Most people don't see it. They think when they close their eyes the fight is over. But a Stoic knows better. The mind never sleeps. It only shifts battlefields. When your body rests, your subconscious rises. It takes the front line, replaying every thought, every emotion, every doubt you allowed during the day. And that's where the battle is either won or lost. You can train your brain while you sleep, or you can let it train you into weakness, fear, and regret. Every night, two versions of you face off. One wants to evolve. The other wants comfort. One whispers, "Tomorrow I rise stronger." The other says, "It's okay to stay the same." Which one wins? The one you feed before you sleep. The Stoics understood this duality deeply. Epictetus said, "No man is free unless he is master of himself." And mastery doesn't happen in daylight. It happens in silence, when no one is watching, when you're alone with your thoughts. That's why your nights matter more than your days. Because the mind you wake up with is forged in the hours when you're unconscious. Every emotion you suppress, every goal you abandon, every regret you replay, your subconscious processes it all, deciding what kind of person you'll be tomorrow. If you end your day replaying pain, you'll wake up defensive. If you end it replaying power, you'll wake up focused. It's not about how long you sleep. It's about what you feed your brain before it sleeps. So let's be honest, when was the last time you went to bed with peace? Not scrolling, not worrying, not chasing, just commanding. Most people treat the night like a dumping ground, throwing in all the stress, noise, and anxiety from the day. Then they wonder why they wake up tired even after 8 hours of sleep. Your brain isn't tired because your body didn't rest. It's tired because your thoughts never stopped running. The Stoic doesn't allow that. He protects the final hour before bed like sacred ground. Because he knows, what he thinks in that hour determines what he becomes in the next day. Let's dive deeper. When you're asleep, your brain goes through what scientists call memory consolidation. That means your mind sorts through the day, deciding which experiences to store and which to erase. You don't choose that consciously, but you can influence it. How? By feeding it focus before you sleep. By deciding what deserves to stay in your mind and what deserves to fade. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And that's exactly what the subconscious does when you don't guide it. It imagines pain, regret, and failure on repeat. You must interrupt that pattern. Before sleep, take control of what your brain will replay. Feed it gratitude. Feed it discipline. Feed it strength. And it will practice those emotions until they become second nature. Here's something the average mind doesn't understand. You don't need motivation every morning, you need mental training every night. Because when the world is silent, your thoughts are loud. And if those thoughts are toxic, you'll wake up already defeated. But if those thoughts are powerful, you'll wake up already prepared. Marcus Aurelius used to remind himself before rest. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to love, to act. He didn't say that in the morning. He said it the night before, programming his subconscious to wake up with gratitude instead of dread. That's not poetry. That's neuroscience with ancient discipline. Now listen, the mind is programmable, but it's not stupid. It won't obey words that don't match your energy. You can't go to bed saying, "I am strong," while your body trembles in fear. You have to feel the command. Before sleep, create silence. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly until the noise fades. Then speak, not from your mouth but from your core. Say, "I am in control. My mind is my servant. It will not betray me. It will not replay pain. It will build strength while I rest." Say it until you believe it. Because the moment belief meets repetition, transformation begins. Your subconscious will take that belief and turn it into chemical reality. It will rewire your neural pathways overnight, aligning your next day with your current conviction. That's how you win the battle between rest and regression. Here's the truth. Most people go to bed as victims of their day. Stoics go to bed as commanders of their mind. The victim replays everything that went wrong. The Stoic rehearses how he'll rise stronger tomorrow. The victim complains. The Stoic commands. The victim escapes into dreams. The Stoic uses dreams as training. You must decide which one you are. Because every night, you write the script for tomorrow's mindset. And the subconscious, that silent warrior inside you, follows the script without question. Let's create your nightly discipline checklist. Simple but powerful. Forgive the day. Don't carry anger into sleep. It poisons your dreams. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's cleansing. Detach from outcomes. Stop replaying what didn't work. Let go. The day is over. Your job now is preparation, not punishment. Program your focus. Whisper your next mission. Tomorrow, I will act with calm precision. My emotions will obey my purpose. Trust the process. Believe that while you rest, your brain is training. You don't need to control the dream, just the direction. When you start practicing this, something magical happens. Your mornings change. You'll wake up with clarity, not confusion. You'll wake up with calm, not chaos. You'll wake up with purpose, not panic. What? Because your brain didn't spend the night lost in fear. It spent it building strength. And that's what most people never understand. Sleep isn't an escape from life, it's the training ground for it. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But that power means nothing if you don't use it while you sleep. Because half your life is spent in dreams, and those dreams are shaping your reality. So tonight, before you rest, remember, this is not rest. This is war. You're not lying down to escape. You're lying down to train. And when you wake, the world will feel lighter, not because it changed, but because you did. You'll look in the mirror and see someone new. Not someone who waited for peace, someone who created it. Because the night no longer belongs to your fears. It belongs to your focus. It belongs to your discipline. It belongs to you. When the lights go out tonight, whisper this final command. My body rests, but my mind sharpens. My fears dissolve. My focus deepens. I train in the silence of sleep. Then let the darkness teach you. Let your subconscious carry your orders into the battlefield of dreams. Because the one who learns to control his mind in sleep wakes up unshakable. Reprogramming the subconscious mind. Every great transformation begins in silence. When the noise of the world fades, when the body finally surrenders, the subconscious mind awakens. Not as your enemy, but as your greatest weapon. Most people never learn how to use it. They live their lives letting the subconscious drive them, never realizing they could take the wheel. The Stoics understood something that modern science is just beginning to confirm. Your subconscious is the sum of your repeated thoughts. What you feed it during the day becomes the script it follows at night. And if you don't consciously program it, it will run on old software. Fear, insecurity, comparison, regret. You want to train your brain while you sleep? Then you must reprogram your subconscious before you rest. Think about it. You can't train a warrior who doesn't know who he serves. Your mind is that warrior. And if you don't give it a mission before sleep, it will serve your weakness by default. The Stoics believed in daily reflection, not just to measure their progress, but to instruct their subconscious. Marcus Aurelius wrote nightly. Seneca meditated before bed. They were not overthinking, they were training. Marcus would review his day and remind himself, do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which arm you today. That was his subconscious reprogramming ritual, ending each day with reason, not fear. Here's what you must understand. Your subconscious cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. If you visualize power, it prepares for power. If you replay pain, it prepares for pain. That means every image you allow before sleep is a command. The man who scrolls endlessly before bed is giving his subconscious chaos. The man who closes his eyes and imagines focus, strength, and calm is giving his subconscious clarity. And when morning comes, one wakes up lost, the other wakes up ready. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters. He was pointing directly to the subconscious, because your reactions are trained responses, not conscious choices. You think you decide how to respond to stress. You don't, your subconscious does. It's built on patterns of emotion, thought, and memory you've reinforced for years. But the power is this, you can rewire those patterns while you sleep. So how does that happen? Let's break it down like a warrior prepares for battle. Step 1. Purge the poison. Before sleep, empty the emotional clutter. You can't install new commands on a mind full of noise. Write down what you felt, what went wrong, what frustrated you, then release it. The Stoics called this evening reflection. It wasn't therapy, it was purification. Say to yourself, this day has served its purpose. I take its lessons, not its pain. That line alone begins reprogramming. Step 2. Install the command. Once the mind is clear, give it a purpose. Visualize the version of yourself you want to wake up as calm, disciplined, fearless. Don't just think it, feel it. Imagine how that version of you stands, breathes, walks. See him clearly. Because the subconscious doesn't respond to logic, it responds to emotion and imagery. When you visualize vividly, your brain lights up as if it's actually happening. That's neuroplasticity in motion. You are rewriting the blueprint of your mind while your body sleeps. Step 3. Anchor it with words. Every Stoic used words as weapons. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations not for others, but for his own subconscious. Words are triggers. They shape the way neurons connect. Repeat powerful affirmations before you close your eyes. Not empty motivation, but stoic conviction. I am calm under pressure. I control my emotions. They do not control me. I will rise stronger than I rest. Say them slowly with breath. Say them until the voice inside you believes them more than it believes your old fears. Step 4. Trust the night. Once your commands are planted, let go. Don't overthink the process. Don't chase the results. You don't train a seed by digging it up every morning. You trust it will grow in the dark. Your subconscious needs silence to work. Sleep is that silence. Marcus wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Your mind is the universe within you, constantly changing, constantly creating. If you keep feeding it order before rest, chaos has no chance to grow. Now imagine what happens when you repeat this ritual for weeks. You'll start noticing small changes. Your reaction to stress will shift. Your anger will fade faster. Your focus will sharpen. You'll wake up and realize you're not fighting your thoughts anymore. They've started fighting for you. That's the power of a trained subconscious. That's the mind of a stoic warrior. But let's be honest, this isn't easy. Most people can't sit with silence. They fear their own mind more than failure. They'd rather distract themselves until they pass out than face their thoughts before bed. That's why mediocrity survives, because silence exposes weakness. But a Stoic sees silence as the training ground. Every night he sits with his mind, no distractions, no noise, just awareness. And in that awareness he builds power. You must learn to do the same. Not once but every night. Until your mind begins to crave reflection more than distraction. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. You're already training your brain while you sleep, just not intentionally. Every night you rehearse something. Either your pain or your purpose. Either your weakness or your strength. The question is, what are you rehearsing? Because the subconscious doesn't stop. It doesn't sleep. It builds whatever you feed it, good or bad. So stop feeding it fear. Stop feeding it guilt. Stop feeding it things that drain your power. Feed it control. Feed it clarity. Feed it courage. And when you wake up, your actions will match the energy you planted. Seneca said, "We become what we repeatedly do." That includes what we repeatedly think before sleep. So if you want to reprogram your subconscious, repetition is your greatest ally. Do this every night until it becomes instinct. And remember this, you are not trying to become someone new. You are training your mind to reveal who you already are beneath the noise. You're not weak. You're just undisciplined. You're not lost. You're just untrained. And training happens every night when the rest of the world is asleep. So tonight, don't lie down like the old version of yourself. Lie down like a warrior entering the temple of the mind. Close your eyes and speak to your subconscious with authority. Say, "While I sleep, I evolve. While I rest, I rebuild. While I dream, I train." Let those words echo in the silence. Because when you wake up tomorrow, your mind will remember the command. Your subconscious will have obeyed. And little by little, night after night, you will transform. Not through force, but through focus. Because that's what Stoicism teaches. That mastery is not achieved by chaos. It's achieved by control. And control begins when you train your brain while you sleep. The art of nightly transformation. Every night is a doorway, not to rest, but to rebirth. When your eyes close, your consciousness drifts and your body begins to heal, your mind steps into the forge. And the fire that burns inside that forge is made of your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits. Most people think transformation happens when they're awake, in the gym, at work, chasing goals. But the real transformation happens in the dark, in silence, when no one is watching. The Stoics knew this. They believed that every day ends with reflection, and every night begins with transformation. Because you can't grow stronger tomorrow if you don't rewire what broke inside you today. You don't need new motivation every morning. You need mental renewal every night. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "At dawn, when you rise unwillingly, let this thought be present. I am rising to do the work of a human being." That quote isn't about waking up early, it's about waking up ready. And the only way to wake up ready is to train your brain while you sleep. Let's be brutally honest. The reason most people stay stuck isn't because they don't work hard enough. It's because they don't rest with purpose. They go to bed replaying failures. They sleep with guilt, anxiety, and comparison. And then they wake up feeling heavy, lost, drained, before the day even begins. But you, the Stoic in training, you're different. You're learning to use every night as a reset, every dream as a lesson, every silence as a teacher. Because sleep isn't a break from growth, it's the continuation of it. To master the art of nightly transformation, you must first understand one truth. Your subconscious is always listening. Even when your body shuts down, your mind keeps recording. Every emotion you felt, every thought you entertained, every belief you repeated. And when you drift into sleep, your subconscious plays those memories back like a movie, scene by scene, word by word, until they become your reality. That's why Stoic reflection isn't optional, it's survival. You can't go to bed with chaos and expect to wake up calm. You can't close your eyes with anger and expect peace. You can't replay failure and expect confidence. You have to feed your mind peace before you expect it to produce power. Here's how the Stoics did it, and how you can do it too. Before sleep, they detached from everything external. They reminded themselves that reputation, wealth, and approval mean nothing once the day is done. Only their thoughts, their discipline, and their virtue matter. Seneca said, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. You reach them not by fighting harder, but by quieting deeper." So before you rest, strip away every illusion. Silence the noise. Detach from the world's weight. Tell yourself, "I have done what I could today. The rest belongs to fate. I will train my mind in peace, not panic." That single thought, spoken with conviction, begins transformation. Now let's talk about the 3 pillars of nightly transformation, the Stoic way. 1. Awareness. Every transformation starts with truth. You can't change what you won't confront. Before sleep, review your day with honesty, not judgment. Ask yourself, where did I lose control? What emotion ruled me? What lesson did I ignore? Write it, see it, accept it, because awareness creates direction. A man who refuses to see his weakness will repeat it in his dreams. But a man who sees it clearly can instruct his mind to correct it. 2. Intention. The subconscious is like a soldier, it follows orders. So before you sleep, give it one. Whisper your next mission. Tomorrow I will act with focus. I will not chase. I will not react. I will remain unshakable. This isn't wishful thinking. It's programming. You're giving your subconscious a clear command, something specific to build upon while you sleep. 3. Visualization. This is where your power multiplies. The Stoics practiced visualization not for fantasy, but for resilience. They would mentally rehearse adversity before it came, so they could face it calmly when it arrived. Before sleep, visualize yourself enduring challenges with strength. See yourself calm under pressure. See yourself walking through chaos without losing balance. The mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, it trains the same way. So when life throws its next storm, you'll feel like you've already been there. That's Stoic mastery. That's nightly transformation. But here's the thing, transformation doesn't happen on one night of reflection. It's a discipline, a commitment, a silent ritual repeated night after night. The same way the body builds muscle through repetition, the mind builds resilience through routine. And every night you practice awareness, intention, and visualization, your subconscious rewires itself one layer deeper. Until eventually you'll wake up and realize, you don't have to force focus anymore. You don't have to fake calm. You are calm. You are focused. Because your subconscious has become your ally, not your enemy. But don't mistake this process for comfort. Transformation will challenge you. The first nights, you'll confront emotions you buried for years. You'll see parts of yourself you avoided in the noise of the day. That's the purification. That's the pain of growth. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." And that applies to the night as much as it does to the day. When you face your inner storms before you sleep, you teach your mind to remain calm when they appear again. And slowly, night by night, fear loses its power. Let's put this into perspective. Most people are prisoners of their past. Their subconscious is filled with memories that weaken them. They carry guilt, failure, rejection, like ghosts haunting their sleep. But a Stoic rewrites his story every night. He doesn't run from the past, he reinterprets it. He tells his mind, that pain was my lesson, that loss was my training, that failure was my foundation. And in that moment, the subconscious obeys. It transforms pain into preparation, and fear into fuel. That's the power of reflection guided by purpose. The truth is, you already have everything you need to transform. Your brain doesn't need permission to grow, it needs direction. If you go to bed with anxiety, it builds more anxiety. If you go to bed with gratitude, it builds more gratitude. If you go to bed with purpose, it builds more purpose. So choose your input wisely. Before you close your eyes tonight, ask yourself, what am I giving my mind to work with? Because your subconscious doesn't rest. It builds, it trains, it evolves. And when the morning comes, it returns to you everything you planted. So tonight, make this your nightly creed. I am the architect of my mind. I'm not my fears. I'm not my mistakes. I am the strength built from them. While I sleep, I rise. While I dream, I grow. While I rest, I become unstoppable. Say it until it echoes in your chest. Say it until your subconscious believes it more than your doubts. Because when your nights become intentional, your mornings become unstoppable. That's how you train your brain while you sleep. That's how you transform without struggle. That's how you become unshakable. The mind of steel, building resilience in the dark. The night is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally, if you learn how to use it. When the world sleeps, when the noise fades, and when the chaos of the day finally dies out, that's when real warriors begin their training. Not in gyms, not in boardrooms, but in the battlefield of the mind. Most people run from silence because silence forces them to listen. It exposes everything fake. It unmasks every fear. But a Stoic doesn't run from silence, he enters it. Because he knows silence is where strength is built. The body heals while you sleep, but the mind rebuilds itself in that same silence. And every night you have a choice. Let your subconscious replay your fears, or command it to construct your future. That choice defines everything. When Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome, he faced betrayal, war, and loss, yet he remained unshaken. What? Because he didn't wait for the morning to train his mind. He trained it every night. He would write to himself before sleep, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That wasn't just a quote, that was a nightly ritual. A reminder that resilience is not built in daylight. It's forged in darkness. Resilience isn't something you are born with. It's something you build. And the blueprint of that strength is drawn when you're unconscious. Think about it, your brain doesn't shut down while you sleep. It reorganizes. It processes emotions. It builds neural connections based on what you thought and felt during the day. If you end your day with stress, your subconscious builds tension. If you end it with calm and discipline, your subconscious builds power. The Stoics knew this centuries before neuroscience explained it. They didn't have brain scans. They had self-awareness, and they used it to train their minds into steel. Resilience is not about ignoring pain. It's about converting it into preparation. When you go through something hard, your subconscious registers every detail, the emotion, the reaction, the result. But here's the secret. You can reframe it before you sleep. That's what Stoic reflection was all about, rewriting emotional memory. If you tell yourself, "That pain was unfair," your subconscious learns victimhood. But if you tell yourself, "That pain trained me," your subconscious learns growth. The event doesn't change, the meaning does. And meaning creates resilience. So how do you build this mind of steel every night? Let's go step by step, the Stoic way. Step 1. Review without emotion. Every night, look at your day like an outsider. Don't defend. Don't justify. Don't blame. Just observe. Ask yourself, what tested my patience? What broke my focus? What did I learn? You're not analyzing to feel bad, you're analyzing to evolve. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than necessary." That means stop reliving pain. Start reliving lessons. That shift turns wounds into wisdom. Step 2. Redefine what strength means. People think strength is about never falling apart. That's wrong. Strength is about falling apart and rebuilding faster each time. It's about training your brain to recover automatically. When you go to bed, remind yourself, "I may bend, but I do not break. I may fall, but I always rise." Your subconscious absorbs that belief. And soon you'll wake up not needing to remind yourself anymore. It'll become instinct. That's how you rewire resilience. Step 3. Accept the chaos, don't fear it. Marcus Aurelius lived surrounded by chaos, yet he wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will forever flow if you will forever dig." That's what resilience is, not controlling chaos but controlling your response to it. When you face uncertainty, tell your mind before sleep, "Let tomorrow bring what it must. I will face it with calm." That sentence does something powerful. It tells your subconscious that fear is unnecessary. It instructs your nervous system to stay calm no matter what happens. You're not predicting peace, you're preparing for it. Step 4. Visualize victory. Close your eyes and see yourself enduring what others can't. See yourself walking through failure with calm. See yourself speaking truth when others stay silent. That's not fantasy. That's neural rehearsal. Your subconscious learns through repetition and emotion. When you repeatedly visualize resilience, your mind begins to embody it. Soon, life's pressure won't break you, it'll activate you. Here's what most people don't realize. Resilience isn't about being emotionless. It's about mastering your emotional energy. Anger? Use it as fuel. Fear. Use it as awareness. Doubt. Use it as discipline. Every emotion has power if you train your mind to harness it. And that training happens most effectively while you sleep because the subconscious has no distractions. It obeys the strongest belief in your mind. So make your strongest belief this: I cannot be broken. I can only be built. Now here's the truth most won't tell you. The reason you keep breaking down isn't because you're weak, it's because your subconscious is untrained. It's used to reacting, not responding. It's used to panic, not patience. But the moment you decide to guide it, everything changes. You don't need perfect days to become stronger, you need purposeful nights. Every reflection, every visualization, every silent affirmation, it compounds. Night after night, your subconscious stops resisting discipline and starts reinforcing it. Until one day you'll notice something strange. The things that used to trigger you don't anymore. The fears that once controlled you vanish. The noise of the world can't touch you. That's not luck. That's training. That's the result of commanding your mind in the dark. Seneca said, "The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately." He wasn't telling you to rush, he was reminding you that control exists only within. The more you focus on mastering your internal world, the less the external world can harm you. And every night, you're given a sacred opportunity to reinforce that mastery. Because when you close your eyes, the world disappears, and what remains is you versus your mind. That's where the real battle begins. That's where resilience is either born or buried. Let's create your resilience command ritual, the words you repeat before sleep. I trust the process of life. I do not fear chaos, I shape it. My emotions serve me, they do not rule me. Every challenge strengthens my core. Every night, I rebuild stronger than before. Say it slowly, with power, with intent. Because the subconscious doesn't respond to empty words, it responds to emotion, certainty, and repetition. Make this ritual your armor. Every night you repeat it, your mind will adjust its programming. It will begin protecting your focus, preserving your calm, and fueling your purpose. And when you wake up, you won't need motivation. You'll wake up disciplined. You'll wake up centered. You'll wake up unshakable. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it's endurable, then endure it." Stop complaining. That's the essence of Stoic resilience, not blind strength, but conscious control. So tonight, when you lie in the dark, don't escape into dreams. Enter your mind with clarity. Command it, direct it, train it. Tell yourself, my sleep is not escape, it's construction. My mind does not rest, it refines. Every night I become more disciplined. Every night I become more free. Then surrender, not to weakness but to wisdom. Because resilience isn't built by fighting sleep, it's built by training through it. Your dreams are messages from your mind. When you close your eyes at night, your mind doesn't rest, it speaks. It whispers in symbols, in feelings, in fragments of memory. Those are not random images, they are the language of your subconscious, the unfiltered voice of your deepest self. If you learn to listen, those dreams can become your greatest teacher. They can train your brain to see the truth that your waking mind often avoids. Most people dismiss their dreams as meaningless. They wake up and forget. But a Stoic never ignores what the mind reveals. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good." When you dream, you are looking within, beyond the masks, beyond the noise. You are entering the part of your mind that holds all your fears, desires, and hidden strength. The subconscious mind, your silent sculptor. Your subconscious never sleeps. It's sculpting your identity every second. The words you feed it, the emotions you repeat, the beliefs you allow, all of it gets engraved in the stone of your character. That's why sleep is not just recovery. It's transformation. Think of your subconscious like fertile soil. Whatever you plant there during the day, gratitude, fear, discipline, or doubt, grows while you sleep. The brain replays, reinforces, and rebuilds. If your last thoughts before bed are powerful, your mind will train itself to become powerful. If they are weak, your mind learns weakness. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That imagination happens strongest in sleep. But you can reverse that. You can suffer less and strengthen more by reprogramming what your mind imagines when you sleep. Nighttime is the laboratory of growth. Your brain runs experiments at night. It connects ideas you didn't consciously link. It solves problems you didn't know how to fix. That's why great minds, from Leonardo da Vinci to Thomas Edison, use sleep intentionally. They understood that when the conscious mind rests, the creative mind awakens. So before you sleep, set a direction. Don't just collapse into bed with chaos in your head. Ask your mind a question. What is my next step? How can I control my anger? What's my purpose tomorrow? Then let your subconscious work on it while you rest. Your dreams will do the work. You'll wake up with clarity, not by magic but by mental training. The Stoics called this premeditatio, premeditation, the practice of mentally preparing for what is to come. Rewire through repetition. Every night, your brain replays the day's events and builds stronger neural pathways for what you repeat most. If you constantly think, I'm tired, I'm lost, I'm not enough, your brain strengthens those connections. But if you replace them with, I am unbreakable, I am calm, I am capable, those words become your reality. Training your brain while you sleep is about repetition, intentional repetition. You're not hypnotizing yourself, you're reprogramming through focus. The Stoics believed that virtue is not achieved in one day. It's a daily exercise, a training of thought. So before you sleep, whisper your truth. I am disciplined. I am not controlled by fear. I rise stronger every morning. You're not lying to yourself. You're teaching your brain what to become. Clean the mental noise before bed. If your mind is full of noise, your dreams will be chaotic. You'll wake up restless, foggy, and weak. That's because your brain never had the chance to reset. The Stoics believed in mental hygiene, cleaning the mind daily just like the body. Marcus Aurelius used to reflect before sleeping. He would write down what went well, what didn't, and what he learned. It wasn't journaling for pleasure, it was cleansing for clarity. He was teaching his brain, I am aware, I am learning, I am in control. Try this yourself. Before bed, write or think through your day. What did I learn today? What will I do better tomorrow? This simple reflection tells your brain, my day had meaning. And meaning brings peace, the perfect environment for your brain to grow while you sleep. Your sleep routine is a ritual. Sleep is sacred. It's not a mindless shutdown, it's your brain's time to sharpen. Treat it like a Stoic ritual. Silence. Before bed, disconnect from noise. No screens, no arguments, no distractions. Stillness. Sit for a few minutes in quiet breathing. Let your heart slow down. Intention. Repeat your purpose. Decide what kind of mind you want to wake up with. When you do this consistently, your subconscious starts to recognize the pattern. It learns, night is training time. You'll wake up sharper, calmer, more disciplined, because your brain is literally building new circuits for that state of being. Dreams of strength, not escape. Too many people use sleep to escape. They run from their reality into dreams of fantasy. But the Stoic path is not about escape, it's about strength. When you train your mind to use sleep as transformation, your dreams stop being an escape and become a forge. You might dream of struggle. You might dream of falling, of failing, of being alone. But those are not nightmares, those are messages. Your mind is showing you where you still need strength. It's testing you in the silence of the night so you can rise stronger in the light of day. Epictetus said, difficulties show what men are. Your dreams show you the same thing. Every fear that appears in your sleep is a mirror, not a monster. And when you face it there, you weaken its power here in reality. The Stoic practice of lucid awareness. You can take this deeper. Practice awareness even in your dreams. The Stoics valued self-control, even over thought itself. Modern science calls it lucid dreaming, being aware that you are dreaming and choosing how to act. Imagine combining Stoic discipline with lucid awareness, directing your dreams toward courage, peace, and mastery. If you can remain calm in a dream, you are strengthening your control over emotion. If you can choose your actions in a dream, you are reinforcing your command over your thoughts. When you wake up, that power doesn't disappear. It carries into your day. Wake with gratitude and direction. The way you wake up is proof of how you trained your brain while sleeping. Wake up with gratitude, not for comfort but for another chance to practice discipline. Gratitude grounds your mind. Then before you move, set a purpose. What will I conquer today? My fear, my laziness, my excuses? This single decision, made while your brain is still in a calm, slow-wave state, imprints your subconscious with strength for the entire day. Final reflection. Your mind never stops working. It's either training or decaying. Sleep doesn't pause that process, it amplifies it. Use it wisely. Your brain is your greatest weapon, and even in rest, it's sharpening or dulling itself depending on your direction. Tonight, when you close your eyes, remember, this is not rest. This is rewiring. This is you building the version of yourself that no chaos can break. Because while others sleep to escape the world, you sleep to master it. Reprogramming the warrior mind. Every night, when you lie down to rest, you are not just closing your eyes, you are stepping into your training ground. Your bed becomes your battlefield, Your dreams become your drill instructors, and your mind becomes your weapon. You either sharpen it or let it rust. The truth is simple. Your brain doesn't sleep when you do. It keeps firing, organizing, and reinforcing everything you've allowed inside during the day. The words you repeat, the emotions you replay, the thoughts you tolerate, they are all seeds that your subconscious nourishes while you rest. If you plant weakness, you'll wake up weaker. If you plant strength, you'll rise unstoppable. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you sleep, that dye sets. Whatever color your thoughts carry into the night, fear, peace, anger, ambition, your soul will wear it in the morning. The power of the last thought. Your final thought before sleep is a command to your subconscious. It's the message your brain repeats all night long. Most people fall asleep with worry, with anxiety, regret, or distraction. They feed their subconscious poison and wonder why they wake up tired, heavy, and lost. But you can choose differently. You can train your brain to receive a different message: strength, calm, control. That's the first step of reprogramming the warrior mind. Before you sleep, say something that aligns with your higher self. Tomorrow, I rise stronger. No weakness survives the night. My mind is under my command. It may sound simple, but repetition rewires. Words have power, not mystical but neurological. Every phrase you feed your subconscious changes the way your neurons fire. You are literally training your brain through words. Replace fear with focus. Every day fills your mind with noise, doubts from others, pain from failure, the endless scroll of distractions. That noise becomes your mental soundtrack. And at night, your brain replays that chaos. It keeps you awake, restless, drained. The Stoic warrior knows this cycle must be broken. You can't fall asleep in chaos and expect to wake up in peace. So before bed, silence the noise. Not by running from it, but by replacing it. Replace fear with focus. Here's how. When your mind starts to drift into anxiety, anchor it with a vision. Picture yourself calm, grounded, unshakable. See yourself walking through tomorrow's storms without a tremor. This visualization trains your subconscious to choose strength over panic. Over time, your brain learns that stillness is safety, not fear. Turn sleep into a mental gym. Think of sleep as your mind's workout. Each thought, each emotion before bed is a rep. If you lift negativity, you build weakness. If you lift focus, you build clarity. The Stoic practice of mental rehearsal can turn your nights into a gym for discipline. Epictetus taught that every challenge is an opportunity to train virtue. You sleep for that. As you drift off, replay your day, but not with regret. Replay it with strategy. Ask yourself, what lesson did I learn from today's pain? How can I react better next time? What would a disciplined mind have done differently? Your subconscious will process those questions all night. It will strengthen neural pathways that align with growth, not guilt. That's how you turn sleep from escape into elevation. Dreams as drills. The Stoics didn't view dreams as mystical. They saw them as reflections, the mirror of the mind. When you dream of struggle, of falling, of fighting, don't wake up afraid. Wake up informed. Your subconscious is showing you your weakness. It's exposing the parts of your mind still ruled by emotion or fear. A warrior doesn't hide from weakness, he studies it. He uses it as fuel. When you wake up, ask, what was my dream trying to teach me? Did it reveal anger, insecurity, or attachment? Good. That's your training target for the day. Seneca said, he who has learned how to suffer has unlearned how to be a slave. Your dreams teach you how to suffer mentally, safely. They test you in the arena of the mind before life tests you in the real world. Your nightly mental routine. To reprogram the warrior mind, create a nightly ritual, a consistent pattern that signals to your brain, now begins my training. Declutter your mind. Spend 5 minutes writing down every worry, every unfinished task. Empty it onto paper. Tell your mind, you are free for the night. Feed your subconscious with direction. Choose one sentence, a command that represents your mission. I am in control. I rise disciplined. My emotions obey me. Visualize tomorrow's victory. See yourself walking through your next day's challenges with composure. Your subconscious will treat that vision as preparation, not imagination. Sleep with purpose. As you drift off, repeat your command. Feel it. Let it echo in your mind. That repetition will carry into your sleep cycle and rewrite your mental programming. This ritual doesn't just improve sleep, it strengthens identity. Every night, you are reminding your brain who you are becoming. The Stoic command over emotion. The warrior mind is not emotionless. It is in control of emotion. The Stoics never taught suppression. They taught mastery. When you sleep, your mind rebalances emotion. That's why nightmares often follow emotional chaos. Your brain is trying to purge imbalance. But when you go to bed calm, centered, and self-aware, you give your brain permission to rest and rebuild. You train it to associate control with safety. The result? You wake up unshaken by the world because your brain has rehearsed stability overnight. Remember, emotional mastery is not learned in the heat of battle. It's built in the stillness before it, often in the quiet of sleep. Never end the day weak. Every night is a closing chapter. The Stoics believed you should never end a day in weakness. Never let your mind go to rest without confronting its disorder. Marcus Aurelius would ask himself before bed, "What evil have I done? What good have I failed to do?" That's not guilt, that's accountability. It's training. When you reflect like this, you tell your subconscious, "I take responsibility for my mind." That act alone builds strength. The weak run from reflection because they fear what they'll see. The strong face it and rise from it. The more brutally honest you are before bed, the more mentally bulletproof you become after waking. Rise with command. You've trained your brain while sleeping. Now, as you open your eyes, command your morning. Don't grab your phone. Don't check distractions. Sit up, breathe, and repeat your identity. I am focused. I am disciplined. I am unbreakable. Your mind will respond instantly, because that's the message it has been repeating all night. You've already done the work. You don't need motivation, you've installed it. That's what makes the warrior mind unstoppable. It doesn't rely on morning hype. It's built through nightly discipline. Each sleep becomes another layer of control, resilience, and clarity. Final reflection. Training your brain while you sleep isn't about tricking your subconscious. It's about taking full command of it. Your dreams, your thoughts, your last words of the night, they are your training ground. Every weak man falls asleep escaping his reality. Every strong man falls asleep building his next one. So tonight, as your head touches the pillow, remember this. You're not shutting down, you're charging up. You're not ending the day, you're sharpening your EDG. Master the night, command the day. When the world goes silent, your true battle begins. It's not the noise outside that defines you, it's the war within. Every night, as darkness surrounds you, your mind faces a choice. Surrender to chaos or use the stillness to build strength. That's where warriors are made. That's where leaders are born, not in the spotlight, but in silence. Your brain is not idle when you sleep. It's alive, firing, processing, sculpting. It's rewriting the codes that shape your behavior, attitude, and destiny. You can either let that process happen by accident or you can take control of it. The Stoics believed that a disciplined mind never sleeps unguarded. Even in rest, it remains in command. The night is your silent teacher. The night teaches discipline through silence. It strips away distraction. It exposes what's left when the noise fades. In that silence, your thoughts echo louder. Your fears speak clearly. But so do your dreams. When you master that silence, when you learn to sit calmly with your thoughts before sleep, you are taming the wildest part of your mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful than your own soul." That peace isn't automatic, it's trained. Before you sleep, spend a few minutes in reflection. Not scrolling, not worrying, just awareness. Ask yourself, what did I conquer today? What conquered me? What will I change tomorrow? Your brain listens. It records those reflections. It begins to reshape your subconscious to match your answers. This is how you train your brain even as you drift into rest, through awareness and intention, reinforcing strength in the subconscious. Every thought repeated becomes a pattern. Every pattern becomes a belief. And every belief becomes behavior. During sleep, your subconscious strengthens those patterns like a blacksmith striking metal. The more you feed it strength before you rest, the stronger your mind becomes by dawn. That's why the Stoics emphasized mental repetition. They didn't rely on emotion, they relied on discipline. Seneca wrote, "We become brave by doing brave acts." Likewise, we become strong by thinking strong thoughts, consistently. So, train your subconscious before bed. Tell yourself, "I am calm." Tell yourself, "I am in control." Tell yourself, "No challenge owns me." Don't wait for motivation. Create it. Your subconscious will believe whatever you feed it, because that's what it's built to do. It doesn't question. It obeys. Your brain works while you sleep. Science now confirms what Stoics sensed intuitively: your brain doesn't shut off during sleep. It consolidates memory, repairs neurons, and reorganizes priorities. Whatever you've been thinking about most, it amplifies. If you end your day with stress, your brain encodes stress. But if you end it with focus and gratitude, your brain encodes resilience. That's why mental training before sleep is not optional, it's vital. The Stoics didn't have neuroscience, but they had observation. They knew the mind followed its dominant thought. That's why they ended each day with reflection, prayer, or gratitude. It wasn't superstition. It was subconscious programming. Sleep is strategy. To the undisciplined, sleep is escape. To the Stoic, sleep is strategy. It's not about how many hours you get, it's about how you use those hours to strengthen the mind. Here's a Stoic-inspired mental training ritual you can practice tonight. Empty your mental clutter. Write down your worries, tasks, or emotional weight. Don't carry them into your dreams. Your brain needs silence to rebuild strength. Forgive yourself for mistakes. Self-condemnation weakens the mind. Learn from your errors, release them, and replace them with resolve. You can't train with guilt in your hands. Affirm your identity. Speak your truth aloud. I am disciplined. I am unbreakable. I control my thoughts. These words aren't wishful, they're commands. Visualize tomorrow's victory. Picture yourself handling problems with calm precision. See your ideal self in action. The subconscious will take that image as a blueprint. Repeat this routine nightly. Consistency is the key. You're not training once, you're programming for life. From chaos to control. You've noticed how sometimes you wake up already stressed, your mind racing, your chest heavy. That's because your subconscious rehearsed anxiety all night. It practiced the wrong emotion. It trained for chaos instead of control. But when you consciously feed it discipline and calm, you wake up in command. You don't just feel different, you are different. The circuits in your brain have shifted toward strength. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom begins at night. When you choose not to be enslaved by fear or noise, you wake up a free man. The Stoics didn't sleep like the ordinary, they rested like soldiers awaiting dawn. They knew that every day required a strong mind, and a strong mind is forged in the night. The warrior mind never sleeps weak. The warrior doesn't go to sleep hoping for peace, he creates it. He doesn't drift, he decides. When he lies down, his last thought is not complaint, but command. Tomorrow I will rise stronger. That's how you train your brain while you sleep. Through intention, repetition, and identity. You remind yourself who you are, and your subconscious obeys. Because understand this, your subconscious is loyal, not wise. It will serve whatever master it's given. If fear is your master, it will build more fear. If strength is your master, it will build more strength. You decide the ruler before you close your eyes. The hidden power of gratitude. Gratitude might sound soft, but it's the Stoic's secret weapon. It's how they train the brain to see opportunity in adversity. Before sleep, gratitude redirects your focus from what's missing to what's working. It transforms scarcity into power. When you whisper "thank you" before sleep, not to someone but to life itself, you tell your subconscious, "I already have enough to build greatness." That mindset turns rest into renewal. You wake up fueled, not fearful. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Gratitude makes you brave because it removes fear of loss. You stop clinging. You start commanding. Reprogramming through stillness. There's one more Stoic secret: stillness. Before you sleep, sit in complete silence. Breathe slowly. Feel your heartbeat. Let the day fade away. That moment, the one just before sleep, is when your brain is most suggestible. Whatever you think then, it imprints deep. So think strong. Think calm. Think disciplined. Don't let random worries sneak in. Don't fall asleep by accident. Fall asleep with purpose. The Stoics knew that silence is not emptiness. It's energy waiting for direction. Give it direction. Wake like a commander. When morning comes, don't react, command. Don't let the first sound you hear be someone else's voice, or the first thing you see be a screen. Sit in silence. Remember the thought you slept with, then act on it. Say to yourself, "Today I am the master of my mind." That's not arrogance, it's preparation. You spent the night training, rebuilding, strengthening. Now it's time to lead yourself. The day is simply the test of how well you trained your mind in the night. Final reflection. Your nights create your days. Your thoughts before sleep shape your thoughts upon waking. Your mental patterns in rest become your actions in motion. That's why the Stoics treated every night like sacred ground, a space to reset, rewire, and rise stronger. The night is where discipline is born. When the lights go out, your real character is revealed. Not the one you show to the world, but the one that whispers inside your mind. It's in those quiet hours when no one is watching that your brain decides who you are becoming. That's why the night is not rest, it's responsibility. Most people think discipline is built in the morning, in cold showers, early alarms, and hard routines. But the truth is, discipline begins the night before. It starts when you decide what you'll allow your mind to feed on before you sleep. Because your brain doesn't power off. It absorbs, organizes, and strengthens whatever you gave it during the day. If you fall asleep distracted, you train distraction. If you fall asleep focused, you train clarity. And if you fall asleep with purpose, you train destiny. What you think before sleep shapes who you are. Your final thoughts are blueprints. Every night, your subconscious reviews them, reinforcing beliefs and emotions. If those final thoughts are about doubt, your mind builds walls of hesitation. If they're about strength, it forges courage. The Stoics mastered this. They didn't end the day with complaints. They ended it with reflection. Marcus Aurelius would write to himself, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" He used that question even at night, teaching his brain to filter out noise and focus on what truly matters. That's your lesson. Stop ending your day with chaos. Stop letting random thoughts own your peace. Decide what your mind will carry into the dark, because it will build upon it until sunrise. Reprogramming the subconscious through purpose. The subconscious is like a worker who never sleeps. It doesn't choose what's important, it just obeys commands. The problem is, most people give it no direction. They feed it emotional leftovers from the day, worry, anger, regret. But if you learn to feed it purpose, it starts building the life you want even while you sleep. Before bed, speak your purpose with conviction. I am in control of my thoughts. I am stronger than yesterday. My future is being built while I rest. You don't say these for comfort. You say them for conditioning. Each phrase is a mental command that programs your brain to operate in alignment with your highest self. Remember what Epictetus said, control what you can, endure what you must. At night, you control your focus. You control what your brain rehearses in the dark. That's real power. The Stoic way to prepare for sleep. A Stoic warrior doesn't go to sleep like everyone else. He prepares for it like a ritual, because he knows that sleep is his mind's forge. Here's a mental ritual you can practice every night. Detach from the noise. Turn off all screens. Disconnect from the outside world. Give your mind silence. Discipline requires stillness. Reflect without judgment. Ask yourself, what did I do well today, and where did I fail? Do not shame yourself, study yourself. Awareness is strength. Affirm your control. Say out loud, I am in charge of my mind. Repeat it until it feels real. Repetition rewires your subconscious. Visualize your ideal tomorrow. Picture yourself calm under pressure, confident in struggle, and disciplined in choice. That image becomes your brain's training program while you sleep. Release everything else. Let go of guilt, envy, and worry. None of them belong in your sleep. The Stoics called this ataraxia, a state of unshakable calm. The battle you don't see. Your mind wages war in silence. During the day you fight the world. At night you fight yourself. The Stoics understood that every emotion left unresolved by sunset becomes an enemy that attacks you in the dark. That's why Marcus Aurelius practiced nightly introspection, to disarm those emotional enemies before sleep. He didn't let anger travel with him into the night. He didn't let fear whisper unchecked. You must do the same. Identify the emotions that follow you to bed. Face them. Speak to them. Don't suppress them, command them. Say, you no longer control me. You have taught me enough. I choose peace now. Your subconscious will follow your lead. It will begin to associate nighttime not with stress, but with growth. Dreams are reflections of discipline. Your dreams are not random. They are mirrors of your inner training. When you dream of chaos, it's your mind revealing where discipline is missing. When you dream of strength, it's your mind confirming that you're winning the battle. A Stoic doesn't ignore dreams, he studies them. Each one is a message. If you see yourself struggling in your dreams, good, your mind is preparing you for real struggle. If you see yourself calm and composed, that's your training taking effect. Sleep is where your mind tests your discipline. That's why when you train it consciously before bed, your dreams shift from confusion to command. You start to dream like a warrior, not a victim. Why discipline needs rest. You can't build an unshakable mind without rest. Discipline isn't about constant motion, it's about deliberate recovery. A Stoic knows that the body heals in sleep, but the mind strengthens in intention. When you rest without guilt, you give your brain the energy to rebuild focus. Seneca said, "He who needs riches least enjoys riches most." The same is true for rest. The one who is disciplined enough to rest consciously benefits the most from it. So don't see sleep as weakness. See it as strategy. The disciplined man doesn't waste rest, he weaponizes it. Programming calm and control. The strongest mind is not the loudest one, it's the calmest. Calm is control. Calm is clarity. And calm is trained every night. Before you drift into sleep, focus on your breath. Inhale slowly, exhale with intention. Let your heart beat slow. As your body relaxes, your brain receives a signal. I am safe. I am in control. That message shapes your subconscious overnight. Soon, even under chaos, your brain will default to calmness, because that's what you rehearsed in silence. That's how you train your brain to stay unshaken, even when life roars around you. Rise like a disciplined warrior. When dawn comes, don't just wake, rise. Sit up with presence. Take a deep breath. Feel the strength you built while sleeping. You don't need to search for motivation. It's already alive in you, programmed in the night. Whisper to yourself, I command my mind. I lead my day. I will not waste what the night gave me. That mindset is the mark of a Stoic warrior, one who uses sleep as a weapon, not an escape. Final reflection. The night is not just the end of your day. It's the beginning of your next victory. Every evening you are given a choice, to fall asleep as a prisoner of your thoughts, or to lie down as their commander. The undisciplined seek escape in the dark. The disciplined seek evolution. The weak end their day with regret. The strong end it with reflection. The ordinary sleep for comfort. The Stoic sleeps for control. So tonight, before you close your eyes, remind yourself, this darkness is not the end, it's the forge. This silence is not emptiness, it's power. And when morning comes, the world will meet a version of you that was built while you slept. The night belongs to the focused. When the world sleeps, the focused rise. Not physically, but mentally. They rise in silence, in the unseen realm where the real transformation happens. Inside the mind. The night is not a place of escape, it's the ground where focus is forged. You see, everyone wants success. Everyone wants clarity, strength, peace. But when the night comes, most people hand over their minds to distractions, to glowing screens, endless thoughts, and emotional noise. They train their brains for chaos and wonder why they wake up weak. The Stoic doesn't make that mistake. He understands that nighttime focus is sacred. It's the arena where he trains himself to master attention, control, and purpose, while the rest of the world drifts aimlessly in sleep. Your mind never sleeps, it learns. Here's a truth that should shake you. Your brain never shuts down. Even when your body rests, your neurons are alive, replaying memories, sorting emotions, and reinforcing habits. Whatever you feed your mind before bed becomes its lesson plan for the night. Feed it fear, it learns fear. Feed it purpose, it learns power. Feed it chaos, it learns confusion. This is why Stoic philosophy teaches awareness before sleep. Marcus Aurelius didn't waste his nights. He wrote reflections to train his focus. He asked himself, what did I do today that was worth doing? What thoughts deserve to remain in me? What should I discard before I rest? That practice made his brain sharp, disciplined, even in sleep. You must adopt that same ritual. Stop giving your mind garbage before bed. Train it like a warrior preparing for mental battle. Because the thoughts you sleep with will fight for you or against you tomorrow. Focus is the new strength. In today's world, focus is rarer than genius. You can have intelligence, ambition, even passion. But if your mind wanders, you will lose to the one who can stay still. When you train your brain to focus, especially at night, you are teaching it to hold steady under pressure. Imagine your brain as a sword. Every moment of focused silence sharpens its edge, every distraction dulls it. The Stoics knew this truth centuries ago. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Wasted attention is wasted life. So each night, make it your mission to protect your focus like your soul depends on it, because it does. Guard your last thoughts. Guard your peace. Guard the gates of your mind before sleep. The nighttime mind workout. Here's how to train your focus while you sleep. The Stoic way. Clear your mental desk. Before bed, write down everything that clutters your thoughts. Fears, unfinished plans, doubts. Empty them onto paper. Your mind can't focus while carrying mental junk. Choose one dominant thought. It could be an affirmation, a goal, or a principle. Example, tomorrow I will stay unshaken. Let that sentence echo in your mind. Your subconscious will memorize it overnight. Visualize with precision. Don't daydream. See your goal vividly, colors, sounds, sensations. The clearer the picture, the deeper it imprints on your brain. Let go of control. Once the thought is set, surrender. Let your subconscious take over. Trust that your brain is working for you, not against you. This is not fantasy, it's neuroscience. Whatever you repeatedly focus on before sleep, your brain rehearses through neural reinforcement. You are literally shaping your future in the dark. When the weak escape, the strong build. Weak minds use the night to escape, through entertainment, noise, or mindless scrolling. They avoid silence because silence exposes their truth. But the strong face that silence head-on. The Stoic sits with himself in stillness. He studies his own chaos, not to suffer it, but to master it. That's where focus is born, in the discomfort of being alone with your mind. Most people say, I can't stop overthinking. But overthinking is not the enemy, undirected thinking is. The Stoic directs his thoughts like a general commands an army. He doesn't say, I can't stop thinking. He says, I will train my thoughts to serve me. That's what you must do tonight. Don't run from your thoughts. Let them. Command them. Let focus become your weapon. The power of silent visualization. There's a reason top athletes, philosophers, and Stoic masters all practiced visualization before sleep. It's not superstition, it's psychological warfare. When you visualize success, strength, calmness, or victory before bed, your brain doesn't just imagine it, it experiences it. It activates the same neural pathways as if it were real. So every night, when you see yourself disciplined and focused, you're literally training your brain to become that version of you. Marcus Aurelius did this through meditation. He would imagine facing hardship calmly, losing control and regaining it, being insulted but remaining unbothered. By rehearsing it mentally, he became unbreakable in reality. So tonight, close your eyes and visualize this. You wake up calm. You face chaos with clarity. You don't chase, you command. You move through your day like a mountain surrounded by wind, still, solid, and centered. Repeat this ritual until it becomes truth. The night tests your commitment. The hardest test of focus isn't during the day, it's at night. Because at night, the distractions multiply: fatigue, emotion, noise, restlessness. It's easy to say, I'll do better tomorrow. But the disciplined man says, my training begins now. This is the Stoic creed. I don't wait for the right moment, I make it. When everyone else is surrendering to exhaustion, you must take command of your mental environment. That doesn't mean staying awake all night. It means falling asleep with your purpose locked in your mind like a compass. You can't control the world, but you can control what your brain builds while you sleep. You become what you repeat. Every night, repetition rewires your identity. If you go to bed distracted, you become distraction. If you go to bed focused, you become precision. Focus isn't a skill, it's a state of being that's cultivated in silence, over and over again. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Focus is self-mastery in motion. It's what separates the mediocre from the unstoppable. So make it your nightly ritual. Silence, reflection, purpose, rest. No noise. No nonsense. No wandering mind. Rise as a master of focus. When dawn arrives, most people drag their minds into the new day heavy with distraction. But you rise clean, ready, centered. What? Because while they slept unconsciously, you trained deliberately. Your mind becomes like a blade, sharp, disciplined, efficient. Every decision, every thought, every reaction now carries clarity. That's what the Stoics lived for, clarity amidst chaos. They didn't pray for easy nights, they prayed for strength to face them. So when you wake up, whisper to yourself, I trained my focus while the world slept. I am ready. I command my attention. And remember, the night belongs to the focused, not the restless. Final reflection. Each night is a battlefield of attention. Every distraction is a weapon aimed at your focus. Every thought is a soldier either fighting for or against you. The undisciplined sleep without awareness and wake up lost. The Stoic sleeps with purpose and wakes up unstoppable. You have that choice tonight. You can drown in noise or rise in silence. So before you close your eyes, repeat this. My focus is my power. My peace is my weapon. My mind is my empire. While you sleep, you build the unbreakable. When your body lies still and your eyes close, your mind begins its secret work. In the silence of night, your brain rebuilds you, thought by thought, belief by belief, layer by layer. The world thinks sleep is escape. The Stoic knows it is transformation. The weak drift into dreams to forget life. The strong enter sleep to prepare for it. This is where the unbreakable are made, not in the noise of the day but in the stillness of the dark. The night is not rest, it's reinforcement. Every thought you had today, every doubt, every act of courage, every failure, every victory, is replayed and reinforced by your subconscious during sleep. Your brain is deciding what to keep, what to delete, and what to strengthen. If your last thoughts before sleep were fear, your brain will strengthen fear. If they were courage, it will strengthen courage. If they were focus, discipline, and gratitude, it will multiply them. That's why Stoics were deliberate about how they ended their day. Marcus Aurelius didn't collapse into bed with noise in his mind. He reflected, refined, and released. He knew that the night was not passive. It was programming. Before bed, he would ask himself, what did I do today that made me stronger? What weakness did I tolerate that must end tomorrow? He turned his mind into a machine of growth, a mind that worked for him even while his body slept. You're always training. Understand this, your mind is never idle. Every second, even in sleep, it's learning who you are becoming. If you sleep angry, you train resentment. If you sleep grateful, you train peace. If you sleep determined, you train victory. So, the question is simple, what are you training when you sleep? You are either programming weakness or programming strength. There is no in-between. The Stoic knew this truth deeply, that your thoughts are your soldiers and sleep is where they drill for battle. The world trains for comfort. The Stoic trains for command, turning sleep into a weapon. Your sleep can be a sword or a shield, depending on how you use it. You can either let it defend your excuses or forge your focus. Here's how to weaponize your nights. Empty your emotional baggage. Before you close your eyes, release what you can't control. Write it down. Speak it out. Then let it go. You cannot train peace while clinging to poison. Set your mental direction. Choose one command for your subconscious. Something simple but powerful. Tomorrow, I will be unshakable. My mind obeys my purpose. I will act with clarity. These are not affirmations. They are orders to your mind. Visualize your victory. Picture yourself calm under chaos. See your discipline unbroken. Feel your strength rising. The clearer your vision, the stronger your subconscious imprint. Surrender to rest. Let go. Let the subconscious take the command and execute it. Trust that your brain is working for you, that it is programming power into every neuron while you sleep. When you wake up, don't question it. Act like the training is complete. Live as if your mind is already upgraded. That belief becomes self-fulfilling. Stoic nights, unshakable mornings. Imagine ending every day like a warrior cleaning his blade, calm, focused, and prepared for the next fight. That's how Stoics slept. Seneca wrote, "The mind must be given rest, yet must not be relaxed. It should be unbent but not unstrung." He knew that real rest isn't laziness, it's strategy. You rest to reload, not to retreat. So as you close your eyes tonight, remind yourself, you are not sleeping, you are sharpening. You are not escaping, you are evolving. You are not done, you are preparing. That's why tomorrow, when others stumble half awake, you will rise fully charged. Because you didn't waste the night, you trained it. The subconscious obeys confidence. The brain doesn't distinguish between imagined and real confidence. It obeys whatever is repeated with belief. So when you close your eyes with strength, your brain believes you are strong. When you fall asleep with purpose, your brain assumes purpose is your natural state. Epictetus said, "The things within our power are our thoughts, impulses, desires. And nothing shapes those faster than sleep." You can't control the dreams that come, but you can control the seeds you plant before dreaming. And those seeds, the last thoughts before sleep, grow into your reality. So tonight, before you sleep, plant power. Plant calm. Plant the vision of who you are becoming. Say to yourself, I am calm in chaos. I am disciplined in darkness. I am unbreakable in silence. And your mind will obey. Silence is the sound of strength. Most people fear silence. They fill their nights with noise, videos, scrolling, chatter, because silence exposes the truth. But Stoics sought silence, because silence is where you meet yourself. The night belongs to those who can stand still. The night belongs to those who can think clearly without distraction. The night belongs to those who use it for self-mastery. When you learn to love silence, you learn to hear your own strength. You realize you don't need external noise to feel alive. You only need direction. So turn everything off. Breathe. Listen. Feel your heart steady. That is the sound of a mind that's beginning to obey its master. From stillness comes power. In stillness, the brain rewires. In stillness, clarity grows. In stillness, chaos loses. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions, than your own soul. That's what you are accessing when you sleep with awareness, your soul's stillness. Your brain builds strength on that foundation. It removes what's weak, repairs what's broken, and enhances what's aligned. That is why the disciplined mind wakes up different. It has been reforged overnight. Morning is proof of what you trained. When you wake, you will know how you slept. If your mind feels scattered, you train chaos. If you feel calm and focused, you train purpose. Morning is not just a time, it's a test. It shows whether you ruled your mind last night or surrendered it. The Stoic doesn't wake up asking for motivation. He wakes up with clarity because he programmed it. He wakes up ready because he designed his night around preparation, not escape. You must do the same. Wake up. Sit still for a moment. Breathe in and feel the power your mind built overnight. Then whisper, I am the result of my discipline. I command my mind. I built myself while the world slept. Final reflection, the warrior of the night. Understand this truth, the world will always see your results, but never your preparation. They will admire your strength, but they will never see the nights that built it. The Stoic doesn't seek recognition, he seeks mastery. And mastery begins in the invisible, in the quiet discipline of the night. While others waste their nights with noise, you must use yours to rise in silence. While others sleep to forget, you sleep to remember who you are. While others dream aimlessly, you dream with direction. Each night you train your mind, you're moving closer to the version of you that cannot be broken. Calm under pressure, clear in chaos, and disciplined beyond emotion. So tonight, as you drift into sleep, remember, this is not rest, this is rebirth. This is not the end of the day, it's the beginning of domination.